Hi everybody, welcome along, welcome back, whatever, if you're a regular viewer or not. At this very moment in time, as I'm recording this, I am uploading the review of the Meng Me163 kit in 1/32 scale for Vasily, so hopefully it's shut him up and leave you alone now, all joking aside. What I'm going to do now is a little review for you of some aftermarket that I've actually got for that kit, and there's quite a little bit here. And it's all quite nice, so let's just go through it. I'll start off with this big Ed set from Eduard, and this is big 3338, and it's a fairly small kit for a big Ed set. All it is two sets of photo etch. You've got the self-assembly, the exterior, and the masks. I lost the word there. So they're calling it SA, but it's actually a cockpit interior really. So self-adhesive, I think the SA stands for. So so that's that. So let's have a look at what we've got here. I always go on the Meng site, the Eduard site, and I print out the instructions in A4, because the ones you actually get in the little wallet that it comes in, this is how they come in these little wallets, and you can see they're a lot smaller. They're only like A5 size. So I always print them out myself bigger, and print them out in colour, and then you're laughing. Basically the set consists of these two sheets of brass. Now this one, we've also got some acetate in here as well, it's stuck on. So let's see if I can get that up. Not quite sure what that's going to be for. That's probably for the gun sight, I'm guessing. We'll see in a minute. So we've got that film there, and then we've got this. This is the self-adhesive photo etch here. Don't rely on the self-adhesive side of this, guys. If you're using it, always glue it on as well. Even though it's self-adhesive, it's a bit of a gimmick. The glue's never quite strong enough. So have a close look at that. That's your, you can see you've got your harnesses there. We've got some tie-down straps, instrument panel, some other panels and bits and pieces there, all pre-coloured for you. And yeah, very, very nice indeed. Those covers there are nice with the pre-printed logos on there, so very nice on that one. And then we've got this part 2, which is the plain brass with no plating on it, and this is basically all riveted channel and section that you fold up, sheet and everything. Got some pedals there, you fold it all up, solder it or super glue it, and gives you basically a better, more accurate structure in the cockpit, because it would have all been made out of sheet metal and channel rather than moulded plastic, and obviously you can't reproduce moulded plastic this thin. So very nice. So I'll leave those there so you can keep looking at those. So, and then we've also got that film that you saw. I'm going to put that back on top of there so it doesn't get lost. Now we've got the instructions here, as I say. So we're basically using the kit back seat rest, and we're going to fold up here. We're going to fold up a new seat pan, and then we're going to use these seat belts rather than the kit seat belts. I don't like using these seat belts. I find that often the paint cracks off of them and they don't look as good. They also don't tend to sit down as well, but we'll see if I can get on with them. If I can't get on with them, I'll get some HGW belts. HGW are my go-to for my favourite seat belts and that. So we're going to remove all that detail from that bulkhead, and then we're going to add these parts on. What you could do, if you want to make this more enjoyable and appropriate for you to watch, if you open up 2 windows with YouTube, have my kit review on one, have this review on the other, and then you can stop and go back and look at the sprues and see just what it is we're removing. We're removing quite a lot of detail here from this side panel, replacing that moulded on latch mechanism with this. Be careful, guys, sometimes they'll tell you to remove this stuff and then add that on. Remember, this is a 32nd scale kit, and that could well be in real life like a 1-inch diameter tube. So replacing it with a piece of thin flat photo etch, it doesn't ever look as good as if you just basically get behind that, scrape the knife and make it look like a tube. It actually looks better in plastic than it will in photo etch. So don't always think that just because this is here, use it. It's not always the best solution. Now stuff like this, for example, like this here, where it's going to hold that oxygen bottle or whatever it is in there, that's going to look a whole lot better than anything that's moulded. So something like that always looks good. And then you've also got here, you're going to add this little piece in the middle of that wheel. I don't really know why, it looks like it's already got the detail on. and then you've got this mechanism here which is going to go in and replace that plain moulded on box. So you're also replacing a plastic part, so that box is obviously where the plastic part goes in, so that's going to look a lot better than any moulded plastic you're going to get. So as I say, use most of it. Like for instance this here, there's no way they're going to get plastic to look as good as you're going to make that look with folded brass. No way. So if I build this kit online, you'll love that bit. It'll look great. And that's not blowing my own trumpet, that's blowing Eduard's trumpet. So now we've got more detail here going in the cockpit. It looks like we've got some hold down straps. It's a bit strange. It looks like we've got straps for hold the cockpit sidewalls in. Very strange. And here you can see it's telling us that with that bit at the front of there, you need to make it bold. So you put it on top of something soft, like a big rubber or something, and then just push down with a ballpoint pen, and it makes it an indentation into it on the back side. So it's probably going to be bulged up, as you can see there. So we're removing those molded on straps and replacing them with these photo etch straps on both sides. Then we're going to remove the rudder pedals from the mechanism. We're going to add these photo etch rudder pedals, fold them up. Looks like a pair of flip-flops, doesn't it? And then we've got this, there's probably an ejector or something there. If it had an ejector seat, I'm not sure. It probably did. Maybe it didn't. Actually, it didn't. Of course it didn't. They had ejector seats in World War II, did they? So yeah, then we've got that instrument panel there going on. Now this is giving us three choices, because you've got the plastic moulded parts, you've got the photo etch parts in the kit which aren't painted, and then you've got these photo etch parts here which are painted. So you've got your choice, you can mix and match whatever, and I'll come up with your favourite solution. We've got these little detail riveted panels there going in those little fillers, and then we've got those two parts going there, whether you use the, what's this, 26 or 27 and 38 or 37. So okay, so these are those panels there with the pre-printed ammo description on there. So obviously if you're using the 108s or the 151s, you've got the different ones to go on there, which is a nice touch. It looks like they're in RLMO2 as well. And then the final sheet for this one, we've got this is the behind the instrument panel, or sort of forward of the instrument panel, should I say. So you've got a nice panel there which is going on, which is this one here with the rivets on. And then you've got a folded channel which are going on there, and then this little part here which you fold up, and I'm assuming that's, I don't know what that is. And then we've got the film here going into the gun sight. So you've got film A and film B, so they're giving you 4 chances of that to cut them out, so that'd be pretty cool. And then they're telling you to cut off that lovely little handle that's moulded on the inside of the canopy frame and replace it with that photo etch strap. Not exactly sure what E22 is, you'd have to look back in the instructions of the kit to see that. So there we go, that's the interior set, and if you just want to get that set on its own, that's 32802. I've got a feeling a lot of Eduard stuff has recently been discontinued, so if you do want to get some Eduard stuff for your older kits, you best go and have a look, because they've discontinued a hell of a lot of it, especially 32nd scale. So go and have a look if you want to get these. They won't be around forever, so go and have a look at Hannant's, wherever you are in the world. If you look on the Hannant's website, and there's a whole list on there of discontinued. If you go on the discontinued bit, and you'll see all the Eduard discontinued stuff. So that's the interior set. Let's have a look at the exterior set now. Right, again I've got the instructions printed out for you here in A4, so we can see what we're doing. And I'll just give you a close-up of this sheet, and you can see we've got some lovely riveting detail on these panels here. That looks like this replacing the inside of the gun access panels. Got some fabrication detail there for the inside of the wing roots. This looks like it's going into the joint between the fuselage halves. And then we've got the photo etched air brake replacements there. So I don't know what the difference in those and as the actual kit parts are. They've got some rivet detail or some hinge detail, sorry, on the front. And there's some sort of frame there, and this looks like machine gun detail and little bits and pieces there. And there's some nice detail flanges. They always look good. They go on the flanges on the engine, I expect, and they'll look really good. So yeah, let's have a look at this, the instructions. I'll leave that one there for you, so you can have a look at it while I'm going through this. So we're starting off, this is the engine exhaust by the look of it. So we're going to roll a ring around, and replace that great plastic lump with a fine photo etch ring, so that's going to look really good. I think that's probably the actual tail as well. And then we're going to add all these little, what's this, 43 is, where's 43? Okay, there it is there, 43. So we're going to add that nice riveted ring around there. This is obviously one of the formers inside the fuselage around the engine, and then adding all these little riveted parts. They're going to look really good on there. Look really, really nice. There's 28, which is that one, yeah. So you're going to fold that up. Hang on a minute. 28 is the little strip. I was looking at that piece there with the leg in it. 28 is the little strip. So you're going to put that inside it and roll that round just to get you the some form around the inside, I guess. And then we've got, this is the gun bay area. This is where the wing's going to go on, and you'll see this with that gun flap open. So you're going to replace the riveted detail on the plastic parts with these parts. So yeah, I thought the riveted detail on the plastic parts looked quite good, but obviously this is going to look a lot better because it's going to be finer. And then we've got this wing root detail going here. This is obviously something around the machine gun, back here, that is, by the look of it. So that's going to go on there and make that look a lot better. Then we're going on to these internal frames for these spine parts. These are the parts that go across the back behind the canopy. Then we've got these lovely little fillet parts here that go on. That's going to really add another depth to it there. So that'll be really nice. Don't forget, if you're going to put these on, you'll need to sand away some of the plastic to get the fit. Otherwise the mating part won't fit properly because the metal will be in the way. And then we've got this metal ring going up inside there, and then another ring going on the outside. Again, remove some material, make that fit nicely, and then when you put it together it'll look good. So or if you're having it as a permanent display, it doesn't matter, or if you're having it as a permanent closed up, then you won't be bothered with those anyway. And then, as I say, we've got the oh, I see that complete panel. That's not a replacement inside, that's a complete panel. So you're replacing the actual exterior whole plastic piece with that thin piece of brass, so that's going to look nice. And then we've got these plates here where they're telling you to fit these plastic parts. They're telling you to cut the plastic out of that section and put this piece in. So that's going to be like a sort of a loop instead of just a solid plastic rod. And then wherever this is here, or on this end, we're going to be adding this little greebly there to it. So part of the mechanism, I guess. So that's going to look quite good. And then we've got this, remember I showed you the detail on the skid with the positive rivet detail. We're going to replace that with this piece here, I guess, which is 40, yes. So that's got the holes going through it, and it's got the positive rivet detail, so that's going to look really good. All washed up and weathered. And then we've got 22 and 23, which are these pieces here going on the side of the skid. So the skid's getting lots of attention. It's going to look really nice. 3 little gussets going on there. And we've got these rings, those rings there for the wheels, not for the exhausters, I thought. And then a little centre ring for the hub as well. And then we're adding some detail into the back of the spine. This is where it's all exposed. You've got your ammunition belts up here. And that's going to look lovely. We've got our photo etch panels going in there, so they're all going to look nice. It's all just going to add to the detail. And I don't get that. Is that part there? We'll have to look back, but I think that's where they're telling you to cut that out. That's where the panel goes for the ammunition, isn't it? I think we'll have to have a look at that later. So there we go. So that is the exterior set. So yeah, very, very nice. And if you want to get that as a set on its own, that one is 32355 from Eduard, or you can get it in the Big Ed set as I'm showing you here. The other thing you get in the Big Ed set is the masks. I'm not going to bother getting these out. Basically, they are kabuki tape masks that are pre-cut, and they go around the edges of the canopy, and then you fill in with you could use masking tape, or you can use liquid mask, something like this one. There are better ones around. I wouldn't recommend this personally. The gun stuff is very, very good. And yeah, so there's some flexible masks in there. So that really makes up the Big Ed set. So let's have a look at something else from another manufacturer. Okay, I'm back with the interior and the exterior sets here, and I was correct about this area. If you remember, in the interior set you have these lovely little pre-painted covers here with the ammunition side and everything on, describing what they are, and it tells you to glue them onto there, C14 or C13, whether you use the cannons or the guns. So there we go, so you got that both sides. Then in this set, what they're doing is they're telling you to cut that section out. So the plastic part looks like this, and they're telling you to cut it out here so it looks like that, and then you put 44 or 45 in there, and they're telling you to cut out both sides, 44 or 45 in there, depending on whether you've got the long or the short box. Yes, so you've got 44, 45 there, but you only get one of them. Okay, and then it's telling you to do this on both sides. Okay, so it's a symmetrical assembly. Tell you to cut out both sides and fit 7 in there, or 29 or 30. Okay, so here's 7, got 2 of them, and they're both the same way round. They should be left and right handed, and then you've got 29 and 30 here, yeah, and they're also the same hand. So if you use the wide box, you'd use 30. If you use the narrow box, you'd use 29. But you'd also use 7. It's the same hand. I don't get it. So if you do get this set, be very careful before you start carving your parts up. You may not have enough parts here to do that properly. You may only just be able to do one side. So that's worth bearing in mind, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to look at another set of masks. These were kindly sent to me by Mitko from DN Models, and he sent me masks for the B24, the Lancaster, and this one as well. So very, very grateful for that. Thank you, Mitko. Now this is part number 32827-007, and its suggested uses for the Meng Me163. And what you're getting in this set is not just like a set of masks that you get with the Eduard set. This is giving you masks to do all of the swastikas, all of the roundels for the British version. You've got the P there, you've got the VF codes, you've got the numbers there on the German versions, we've got the crosses, we've got the English version tail fins, the letters for the versions there, and then we've got the canopy masks and all the masks for the little clear parts as well. So really, really nice. This doesn't have any instructions with it because you just use these alongside the Meng instructions for the actual different liveries that you want to do. So these are actually vinyl. Now I'm not going to start to lift any of this now. If you want to see what these are like, if you go to my B24 review of the DN Models masks, I show you on there what they're like on some clear parts, and I also do a how-to video on how to use these, or how I've used them to spray paint your insignia rather than using decals, because believe me, when you use these things, my god, it is so much better. It just looks incredible. As long as you get the colours right, these things are amazing. And as I say, they come in on one sheet, and it's a vinyl material. It's not here you go, it's Aura mask. It's not kabuki tape, and if you treat them well, you can actually reuse them, put them back on and use them again. They are seriously lovely. And as I say, go take a look at my how I do video on how I've used these. I did a insignia, American Stars and Bars, on a big old Heinkel wing. So yeah, really, really good. Really enjoyed it, and what came out at the end of it was absolutely fantastic. And of course, the other thing is then you can always rub them down with a very fine stick and sort of blend them into the paintwork underneath, make them look a bit worn, maybe damage them a bit. Absolutely fantastic. Recommend these hands down, and I will definitely use these rather than the kit supplied decals. Finally, for my Me163 stuff, I've got a set of decals here which I bought many years ago when I got this kit, and they're suggested for the Hasegawa, but it doesn't really matter. You know, there's no masks or anything in here, so you know, perfect sizes don't matter. But basically, these are the set of decals from Eagle Strike Productions, number 32055, and this is Me163 Part 1. And you can see we've got the different schemes down here. This scheme here certainly isn't available in the box. In fact, none of them are available in the box. So here's the schemes we've got. We've got White 05, which is RLM 83 over RLM 76. 81, 83 over 76. And then we've got this mottled effect on the tail fin there. This one here, number 2, has got the completely mottled finish, which is very, very nice. It's got the red quadrants on the wheel there, which is very nice. This one's got an interesting camouflage pattern, tested by the US at war's end, originally appeared in a mottled fuselage finish over RLM 76. It eventually appears to have received a thin wash of US colours over the original Luftwaffe war paint, possibly medium green over a locally mixed blue-grey. Originally coded FE500, which was later remarked as TS or T2500 inset. So I'm just looking at this here. Original Luftwaffe war, possibly medium green over a locally mixed blue-grey, right. So I'm not sure why they've kept the German markings on there. It's very strange. Anyway, so there we've got the upper and lower scheme there. Got 2004 these came out, and then you've got the different colours here, and then we've got the stencil data there, and that's it. And then we've got some adverts on the back for some other decals they make. So this is the sheet, and we've got some swastikas down there, which will be handy to keep for other stuff. And we've got some, that's scheme 1, that's aircraft 1, that's aircraft 2, aircraft 3, and then we've got our stencil data down here. They're actually quite thick-ish, and they're also quite glossy, so that's not such a bad thing. They might be really good to use. I don't think I've ever used equal stripe decals before, but they certainly look very nice. They're all in register, and the colours are very, very definite. The white's very white, and the black's very black. So yeah, there's no graininess to them like you get on some Revell decals. They're really, really nice. So yeah, and those will be really handy, especially for our build along. So they can go on the tail fin of the 88 and 48 scale if they're right. So we'll see. So there we go, guys. That's the 32055 Me163 decal set for the Komet. I probably won't use these at all. I'll definitely use the masks for all the insignia, and I'll probably use the kit supplied decals for the stencils, the stencil data. So there we go. So there you are. That's your review of your aftermarket. What do I think? If you've got these and you've got the lovely kit decals, I don't think you need them. So maybe don't bother buying those. These, I would say, are a must. I absolutely love them. I've only used them once in a trial video. The video I did was how I do it. It was the first time I'd ever done it, and I showed you in the video. I actually messed up on my first attempt, and then went over it again, but I showed you how not to do it as well. So I would definitely get these, and they are well worth having. If you can get the two, the 32802 and the 32355 sets separately, and get these instead, so you don't need those masks in there. So that's another way of doing it, but I think it's actually cheaper to buy this than it is to buy those two separately anyway. I would definitely have the big Ed set. A lot of people think I've got a thing against Eduard. I haven't. I just don't. I mean, if you look at the cockpit in here, this is more complete than the cockpit is in the Lancaster. So you know, it's crazy the way things have gone. But no, I love Eduard. I've got lots of their stuff. I did a video a while back and I showed you how many sets I've actually got. I've got hundreds of their photo etch sets. I've got very lot of big Ed sets as well. So really, really great. This I think there's both sets of these must have for that kit. They're really, really nice, and all that detail in the cockpit behind the seat is going to look stunning. All the folded sheet metal, it's going to look really, really good, especially with a little bit of chip in, a bit of a wash and a bit of a dry brush. So yeah, go get yourself the kit, guys. Go get this set and go and get a set of these masks, and then you can reuse these on all sorts of aircraft, not just the Komet. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed that. As I say, my advice: get that and get that. And while you're there, if you've got a couple of pounds to spare, if you want to help me out, donate to the channel, help me improve things, then I've got a Patreon channel as well now. So if you ever go and look at that, there's a link at the bottom here, and then go and just donate £1, whatever, I'm looking to, at the moment, May 2019, I'm looking to raise enough money to buy a new camera, and then maybe get some better lighting and go from there. So thanks for watching this, guys. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.